beautiful. He has his PhD in Egyptology. He is best known for his participation with Cheikh Anta Diop in the conference on the peopling of ancient Egypt and the deciphering of the Meroitic script. As we saw, talking about Sudan, they talked about the Meroitic script. He has many books that he has published, the latest of them being African Philosophy, an excellent book, and he is currently a professor at San Francisco State University. Please join me in giving an ASCAC welcome to Dr. Théophile Obenga.
Thank you, America.
Okay,
yes. What is the transparency?
They're right here.
Where is the? I need Greg help. Or Mario, yes. Always the team. You can sit here. So maybe there is a light, huh? Too much. Yeah. Is there, right? We can see, huh?
Okay, we can have the house lights dim.
So the people can see in here. Yeah, it's more beautiful. So, Otep. Thank you, Presidente, Queen Zinga, and everyone. Of course, we keep always, to do well, we must keep a link with our colleagues who are no longer with us physically, but they're still with us, like Dr. Cheikh Anta Diop, Dr. John Harry Clark, and Jake, Essa, Hank Mira, Roberts, all of them, they're still with us, you see. This makes us even more strong. Because what we do is question of responsibility. It's not a joke, it's a responsibility for us, for our race, for our people, even for humanity. So I try to, not to lecture really, but to show something very quickly. The most difficult thing to do in life, in creativity, in history, is a script, the writing. To invent a writing is very difficult to do. It's the most difficult thing to do. Yeah, to have your own writing in life, to write your own language with your own writing came from you. It's almost impossible to do that. This is why Europe, they don't have their own writing. Yeah, yes, you see. Even a Greek alphabet is not from Greeks. Yes. Even what you call a Roman alphabet, A, B, C, D, is not from Rome. It's not their own invention. Now we call that A, B, C, or A, B, C. Even, doesn't mean even what? Why you say A? Which the meaning of A or B came from where? Doesn't mean what? I mean, why does that mean nothing? Because we came from somebody else. Yeah, it's meaningful for them, but when you copy, you drop the meaning. It became just A, B, C. So at the same time, they say Africa is the cradle of humanity. That means as Homo sapiens, as Homo, that's physically, biologically speaking. But at the same time, if the Homo sapiens start in Africa, so he has a brain, has a thinking, he questions the cosmos himself, what is life, what is death, what I must do. So that thing starts in Africa too, with Homo sapiens. You don't just live like that in a bush. He has a question because you have the same brain even now. So the same universe, the same nature. So basically the same questions. The answer can change, but you have basically the same question because you have the same equipment and you have the same universe. So Africa is not just the cradle of many things, mathematics, but I will show that Africa is also the cradle of a writing system. This usually, we don't talk that too much about that. Because to have your own script, to write your own language, it's almost impossible to do that. Even Russian alphabet is not their alphabet. Yeah, it's a Greek alphabet. But the Greek alphabet is not from Greece. It's from a Phoenician. Phoenician's alphabet is not from Phoenician people either. You see? This is a known, but we never focus on that. But you have a script everywhere on the continent, not just the Valley, Meroitic, Nubia, Somalia script, Kemet, but everywhere on the continent. But we don't do research enough. Yes. Because people doesn't want to do that. They know that is the most difficult thing to do, so we don't want to study that. If African people they don't study, we don't study either. They must do their own job. So we must study. It's very difficult to invent a script in the world. It's almost impossible to do that. It's more easier to borrow. Yes. It's more easier. It's the most difficult to do. So I will try to this is why my lecture is Africa is the cradle of writing. Yes, you just go quickly. So, yes, like Anderson and Manu's brother who lectured before me, in fact, we never make separation between Kemet and Nubia. You see, they're almost the same. They're the same country. It was the vision from antiquity. For Greece, for Greek people, for them, the Nile Valley was one valley, including Kemet and Nubia. It was the same country for them. But from the 17th century, Western scholarship makes separation. Because Nubia can belong to black people, to Negroes, but Kemet is kind of Mediterranean brown race, Amid, something like that. Because it's difficult in my mind to give pyramid or obelisk mummies to slaves, you see. So they changed the paradigm. But in antiquity, it was not like that. The paradigm was Nubia is and Kemet is black country, is African country. But they changed that from the 17th century to now. This is why we struggle. This is why we have symposium. But there is no need for symposium really. But we must struggle symposium now. But in antiquity, it was not symposium. When you do that, they call you foolish. This is obvious. Why want to make a symposium? Next. Do fast. I'll follow you. Have seat. Yes. So this also, Kemet has a lot of influence. They're the same country with Kemet and Nubia, or the same ensemble, the same complex of culture. But Kemet give also influence also East, what they call Near East. But they're not the same civilization. You see, they make the difference. Now they want to bring Kemet more from East region than from African region. Yes. Yeah, do you see? But in fact, Kemet is here. This is a Kemet, the same country, Nubia, and this influence all this civilization, chiefly in writing, in spirituality, in papyrus, even paper. You don't. They wrote here with a clay. You don't travel with a lot of clay; it's too heavy. But Kemet, they write with a papyrus. So you have Greek papyrus, Roman papyrus. Everybody in antiquity used Egyptian papyrus. Yeah, it was beautiful support to write. It was not a clay. Even the support of a writing, it came from Kemet, what you call papyrus. If it will be no Egyptian papyrus, it will be no Greek philosophy. It will be lost. It will be no Roman. It will be lost, of course, even medieval age, because there was no paper by that time. So they use Egyptian papyrus. Yes. Yes. I follow Greg, your rhythm. More you do, more I follow. So what I want to show, first let's have some basic understanding of some words. We use them, but sometimes it's difficult to explain them. The more we use them, more we don't know. So what do we mean by a language? To have a good definition of what we mean a language. The same definition we apply for English, for French, for Yoruba, for Zulu, for Chinese. It's the same language. What do you mean by language? Language is just a voice sound. That's all. If your voice sound makes sense, you listen, you understand the language. But if I say Bini Ibowo, it's just a sound for you, that's I mean I war you in my language. But since you don't know my language, it's just a voice sound, Ibowo. Yes, you see? If you know the language, the sound, voice sound means something to you because involve many things and express your thought and your feeling in society. Because you don't find any human society must have a basic language. How to communicate if you don't have a language? So language is social institution. Yeah, if you don't have a society, there is no language, there is no society without a language. Even now, even in the past, everywhere in a mountain, in Africa, everywhere is a requirement. If you have a society, automatically you have a language. And your language is not above another language. English is not above Portuguese. English is not above German. Because they are the same function to communicate. If I communicate with Maya, with Chinese, is enough. I don't want to communicate in China with Spanish. Nobody will understand. So they play the same role, the same function in society to communicate thought and feelings, basically. So that you can regulate in society. That is enough. When they talk Yoruba or Igbo or Akan or Twi, is enough. The English is not above Akan or Twi. They're the same level. So we believe that because maybe you have many books on literature, many books, that the language is above. No, this is a creativity for the people who speak the language. But the language as such is not above some other language. It's the same. Yes. If you produce more in English, but they respect more your language because we read books to have information. But if you don't produce in your language, but nobody cares too much about Zulu or something like that, there is no literature there. But doesn't mean that is inferior. In a society, it's the same. When I say sister in English, la sorella, the sister is not more beautiful than sir in French. Or bola in Lingala, or kana in Lingala. When I say kana, that means my sister. When you say sister, that means the same thing. It's not above. English is sister, it's not above French is sir. It's the same function. So we believe that because of our condition, we believe that we are inferior. We speak monkey's language, primitive language, something. This is anthropology, this is racism, it's ideology. There is no pagan language. So you want to give the language baptism in Mississippi? That will do. To put a Creole with a nice white robe and in Mississippi to give Christianity to Creole is a language. You see? So this is the language. It's just a thought and feelings in society. This is the role to communicate in society. And then what you mean is a script. A script is more difficult to do. It's not a given. The language is almost a given. Even a kind of monkeys, they have kind of communication. Even fish, they have kind of communication. It's a kind of a must. We must talk. We must communicate in some way. But a script, we don't need to if we communicate, I don't need to write what I want to tell you. Yes, there is no need to write. There is a need to speak, to communicate. There is no need to write what you want to tell me. You just tell everybody's oral tradition. It's enough. You speak. You don't have to write. To write is your own decision. To write is what? It's more difficult because when I speak, I have a sound. You don't see them. So when you want to write them, I must see them. When I say ah, you don't see, or a, you don't see a. You have just the sound. But how do you write the sound a? What's your convention to write that? So you draw something like this. You see the difference? So the script is to represent visually the sound of a language. So it's more complex. It's more complex. So I can present a bird, doesn't mean I can do A, B, C, I can do alphabet. So the script is not the alphabet. The script is just the way you write, you agree with your symbol to express visually your sound language. That's all. You can use hieroglyphics, you can use a Chinese character, you can use English alphabet. It doesn't matter. The thing that you express, you make more visual the sound of a language. Yes. And this is more difficult to do. It's not everybody in society. You don't go to school to learn English when you are a baby. You listen to your father and mother, and you will know. But to write, you must go to school. It's a convention. It's more difficult. It's a group. It's initiation, what you call scribe. It's a scholar business. It can be priest and priestess who make this invention. It can be Imhotep. It can be like, not everyone. Not everyone can master the writing, even in Greece. Yes. I can speak Medew Netcher, but I don't have to write Medew Netcher. I can speak English. Some people in United they don't know how to write even their name in English. They're white. They never know. They don't know how to write. They're illiterate. They say you have statistics. Even in French, in France, they don't know how to write in a village. They speak French, but write. They say I don't know. I don't have the master of the character A, B, C, D. You see? So you must learn. You need some group of initiation, some priestess, there's some kind of a group, a scholar will say, look, why not like this to figure out our sound language? So the script is more difficult than the language to do. This is why I speak easily my language, but script we don't do. There is no script in Greece. There is no script in Western, Europe, no script. They don't use their own script. They didn't invent no one single script. Yes. They don't have script. Why they don't use that? They use a Russian alphabet. It's a Greek alphabet. It's known. The A, B, C, D, what you call, is not an Anglo-Saxon alphabet. It came from Rome because of the colonization by Roman Empire. That's all. So they didn't have their own script. The script is difficult to do. So this one, we need to see. Yes, so you have all kind of system for writing, you see. But their purpose is the same. I can use a papyrus, I can use a clay, I can use a pen, I can use a scissor, I can use anything to write. It doesn't matter. We believe that everybody must use a paper. But the paper is not even a European invention, it's Chinese. Yes. Even to print the Bible. It came from China, the printing. It was a Gutenberg who tried to print the Bible for the first time. But Europe is almost empty of invention. Of a basic. This is clear, it's not to dominate, it's not ego or ideology, it's a historical fact. Yes, you can give me the date of their invention. Name me one paper invention. Where in Rome? Where in Greece? There is no fact. So it's a question of history. Next. Yes, you can drop this so it can be more easy. So you have Egyptian system. Yeah, you have so I give you the measure, the script in the word very quickly. So you have Egyptian system, is the most old system in the world. Is 3,500 BC. It's the oldest script in the world, Egyptian world. This is why we can say Egyptian Kemet is the cradle of writing, because this is the date. There is no date like that before Kemet. Where? You want to know? So far, no. You see? So Kemet, you have their own invention. They did that. Not just a pyramid. You see, we know Kemet by pyramid, obelisks, mummies, like this, like that. But we forgot that they make the most crucial invention in the world. Yes, is the writing. And this writing will give Hebrew writing, Phoenician writing, Greek writing, Roman writing, English writing, French writing. You see? If there was no Egyptian script, will be no Greek alphabet. It's crucial. It's more than obelisk or pyramid. It's more than that. It's crucial. So it's the base of civilization, of written civilization. Not just oral civilization, the base, the foundation of a written civilization. You write your thought, you write your script, you write your Bible, you write your Octave Maxim, to write what you think, to write your philosophy, your mathematics, your science, to have this decision, to write something down, so it can stay from his legacy. He came from Kemet. The first to think that, you see? So it's crucial. Now, after that, this script is all kind of script. You can have, they call that sometimes a pictograph, something like that. Of course, you make design first, and then you have evolution. So anyhow, you have the one script, the Sumerian script. Is at least 200 years after Kemet. Now, in books, they want to present always Sumerian before, but even now, nobody knows how to read the Sumerian script. So, yes, I say, why you pretend to do that before? Maybe it's not a language. Yes, the script is not to design. The script is to represent the sound of a language. Yeah, so which language? If you don't tell me the language, just write it's the symbols. It's a sound, it's not a language, it's not a script. Script must be the representation of a language, of the sound of a language. So when I know them, I read, I know the language. Yes. But if you don't know the meaning of, so why do you call that script even? You see? So, in fact, there is no, anyhow, they say Sumerian, but nobody knows how to read. So, okay, let's guess that is a language. Let's agree. But anyhow, it's not older than Kemet. You have a new date now. They did that themselves. Now you have in Crete, in Greece, they have their own script also, called linear A and B. You see, this one, linear A, now nobody can read that. Yes. You can read, but you don't know the language. But linear B, you can read because it's a Greek, old Greek, Mycenaean Greek. You can read that. So, but it's almost the time of the Queen Hatshepsut in Kemet. Yes, when they have an invention of a script in Greece by them, their own script, it's almost the time of Queen Hatshepsut in Kemet. She's almost late. Yeah, it's the new kingdom. So with the Middle Kingdom, Old Kingdom, and before that. So he was very young when they did that. Very young. And why Greek, they didn't use their own script? Why they didn't use their own script? So it was not effective. And they don't have a lot of documentation either. They remain, not a lot. But the date is always after Kemet. And then you have the Phoenician script. You can have the date. The Phoenician script, the so-called Phoenician script, is almost the time of even after King Tutankhamun. He's young, very young. So it's a very young script. But it came from, you see, the first script, they found that in Kemet, in fact. So they called that a Canaan script to say that it came from Syria. They give the name. But in fact, it's not coming from Syria, it came from Kemet. Yes, it's a fact. I will show you the picture itself. It came from Kemet. So this one also, this kind of script, which script? Aramaic is also kind of Semitic or Semite script. It came from Phoenicia, like Hebrew came from Phoenicia. So it's very young. Aramaic is the language when Jesus was in life. They didn't speak Hebrew. Jesus speak Aramaic language. Yes, so this is a kind of Hebrew too. So this, the script is very young. You can see the date. It's very young script. And this one is which script? Aramaic, yeah. The script is very young. That will give birth to Hebrew script. Yes, and the Hebrew will change too. Now they change. They don't write a square script. Now they try to change with the Zionist movement, you see, to make more easier. And then you have a Greek alphabet, the so-called Greek alphabet. Greek alphabet is a borrowing from Phoenician. And you can have the date in the corner. It's very young script too, because before Homer, with the literature before Homer. You have a Greek people live before Homer with the script. What they did, they didn't know how to write. So it's lost. It was oral tradition, it's lost. But they try to write with Homer. That means almost 18th century BC, not before. Yes, it's a very young civilization. And it's a borrowing from Phoenicia. When we say borrowing, even when you know the Phoenician people, that's Lebanon, they have their own Bible written by the priest called Beroz. So the name of the Bible is a Saint Cognaton. So there is in their language. It's written there that our script came from Kemet. It's written. Yes, by themselves. So it's not fiction. Yeah? But it's difficult to find the so-called Cognaton Bible. Go to internet, Cognaton Bible. It's difficult to find because they hide information always. You see, yes. And then you have from Greece alphabet. It became more easier. You have also Latin alphabet. And Latin alphabet will be Rome. Since Rome is the Roman Empire, it will spread the writing in Spain, in Portugal, Iberia, in Gaulish countries, France, in Germany, Anglo-Saxon. They don't have their own script. So Western civilization has a script from Roman, and Roman from Latin, Latin from Greece, Greece from Phoenician, Phoenician from Kemet. Yes, even Gardiner said that when we use ABCD, we still use Egyptian script. It's said by Gardiner. Not in his grammar, he has a paper in a journal for Egyptian archaeology. It's written by Gardiner. He said when we use ABCD, we still use Egyptian script. Through time and space, of course, things change. So this is the first script, you see. So they say, yes, it's design. No, it's a Medew Netcher. Over 3,000 BC is Medew Netcher. Because when you have the bird is the same, and you have the snake, you have the snake, and you have the symbol of the mountain. So the snake is a Jew, you know that. And the mountain is a Jew. So they use the phonetic complement before. Usually they use after. So they use before. So I read the Jew. Jew is a mountain. Mountain of what? Of light. So it's a Manu Ampim. That's Manu. That means the mountain of light, of east. That means east. When I say east in Medew Netcher, I say Manu. But I don't say Ampim, but Manu at least. The first part is exactly when light comes. This is what Professor Manu Ampim, he says always, let's do first hand information, to have more light, to have more precision. And he's right. He followed each name has own destiny. Yes, Obenga, I have my destiny. Diop is destiny. The name tells my destiny. So you must fulfill you must know the meaning of your name so you fulfill your chance in this life. So we can read this first Medew Netcher. It is not a mystery. They found that in Abydos by a German guy, Gunther Dry, who found that. So it's a fact. Next. So, yes, quickly. So this is the chart. The system, Egyptian system of writing. It gives birth to Meroitic script. When you have because the Meroitic script, I can write the Meroitic language with 2 scripts. I can use the Medew Netcher, what you know, to write with some, but sometimes we not the same value, phonetic value, not the same meaning either, but the same symbol I can use. I can use also more cursive, what is more known like a Meroitic script. So I can use these as most of them come from Demotic, Egyptian Demotic. So this is why we read Meroitic, we read, because we know the sound of this. But when you read, you can read my name Obenga, because it's written with a symbol known by you. But you don't know the meaning of Obenga, because you don't know the language. Yes, so we can read the Meroitic because we know the meaning, the phonetic value, the sound value of the symbols. So we try to read, but what you read, I don't know. So it's not the decipherment of the script, but the decipherment of the language. So they try to do that, like Anderson said, in Paris, Jean Leclan. They try to, with Canadian people, German, they try to do that with computer. But I say, look, I don't know which kind of a computer will invent a human language. Yes, it's like that. Yes. I said to Leclan, I say, yes, but we try. You try what? They say, what you want there? I said, look, since we don't know the language, 2 things. We make excavation, maybe we'll find Rosetta Stone, something like that, bilingual text. But maybe, inshallah. If we don't find, the best thing is to put money to make a systematic survey of Sudan. Systematic, and you compare. You will find a language close to Meroitic. Yes. And from there you can try to guess. Because you need the language. In fact, Coptic, Champlain will never decipher your Kemetic language. It was a Coptic who helped him. Not just the Rosetta Stone, but it was basically the knowledge of Coptic. Because when you read Coptic, you say, okay, I know Coptic, but Coptic is Egyptian. Ah, yes, it makes more sense. It's like that. So I say, do that. They don't want to do a lot of money. People fight there, Darfur, like this. They don't want to go. Okay, fine. But it's a sense then, they're even tired. Because Leclan, when you go to his home, he has almost all texts in Meroitic. He said the day they will find how to decipher the language, he will be the best scholar in the world, because he has a lot of text everywhere in his living room. He tried to, all the writing texts, he tried to keep them in order, so when they make an version, he will just publish. I say, you will wait. Yeah. So this one, this is a script found in Sinai, and this is the beginning of a Phoenician script, not in Phoenicia, Lebanon, but in Kemet. This is the writing. So what but they don't want to call that Sinaitic, they want to call it Canaanite language, you see. You don't find things in Los Angeles, but you say came from Los Angeles. This is the way they do. Yes. To make confusion, if you don't know, you believe. So this, yes, because you are very far, you can push more here to have light. Yes, more close here. So the chart, you see, you have Medew Netcher, I believe, Medew Netcher. You have Phoenician script, and you have a Greek script. So you can draw the chart. Came from Kemet, you have the Phoenician, and Phoenician you have Hebrew, you have Greek, and even Roman, and then your age. Because the question, you say A, B, C, D, E, that means what even? You see? But when we say A, it was Aleph. It was Aleph in Phoenicia. Aleph means ox. Yes. When we say B or B in Hebrew, in Phoenicia, but in Phoenicia, when they start, the B is for bet, beta. Bet means house. You see? Yes. And you have, say, delta, gamma. So Western civilization, Romance alphabet, they just keep the first, when I say Aleph, they just keep A. When I say beta or bet, they keep just B. When I say Gimel, they just keep G. When I say something like that, they keep just the first symbol of the word. This word doesn't mean nothing in French or in English. Yeah, we just say A, B, C, D. That means what? We don't know. Of course you don't know, because you make abbreviation. It's not A is Aleph. It's not a B, it's a beta. You make just abbreviation. This word doesn't mean no sense. You see? So even it's more poor, culturally speaking. It's more poor. Yeah, because you borrow, you don't want to be disturbed. You take the most easier thing to do. Yes, it's a borrowing. But yourself is more painful. You may do that, you make mistake, you came back. It's more painful to invent your own writing. But when you copy from me, when I copy from you, I say it's done already, the more difficult. Let me drop what is not necessary. See? This why is even poor. So one British guy, Taylor, 19th century, he said, look, this thing is real, because let's take M, the owl. You know that in Kemet. Here, the bird here. You see the bird. It's M in Kemet, owl. So you can show the evolution of this symbol in all script. Yeah, this is the chart. I don't know if you see well. This is crucial, the chart. He did that. So you can see how the Egyptian symbol gives birth to all these symbols. What you call M or Nun or Arabic, like it came from this symbol. They can draw a chart, and it makes sense. Not just for one symbol, it did for most of them. So I can show you. You see? Yes, so it's a reality. You give birth to the most difficult thing, not just human being, Homo sapiens. You say, look, I teach you how to write your own language. I teach you too. It's crucial. If no writing, it will be no civilization. How you can read Thomas d'Aquin or Descartes or the Bible if you don't have script? How the Reverend Bird can read if there is no script? If it was not written? If they didn't borrow a script from your own ancestor? Yeah. Now you pay them credit, but they must pay you credit. They borrow from Kemet. Yes. So this is one of the Phoenician alphabet. You see, it makes more sense. So their Aleph is like this. So they don't say A, B, C, D. They say Aleph, Bet, Gimel, something like that. Dale, Delta, Dale. So you just keep the D. You don't say Dale. This is why we have A, B, C, D. Doesn't make no sense even. Nobody could never question that. Why we call this thing A, B, C, D? Nobody will never question for centuries. Black studies, you question. Yeah. So everything you drink, soft drink, everything, no questioning. ABC doesn't make it came from here. Yes. You see, this one is a Phoenician, is Hebrew. This is Hebrew. Now they don't write like this. They change because this is more complex to write, so they make more soft with when they build the Israel state. They make a Renaissance, Zionist movement. So they try to simplify their own script. So when you push to Latin, people will see maybe more. Yes. You see, it's beautiful. So you must learn this business. We must study what you call classical study. It's all these things. So you can read by yourself. You can have your judgment. You can know by yourself. And then you can discuss. If you know from me, I don't tell you everything. These are what we must change 21st century. We must build scholarship. We must build by all means. If not, we'll drink always. We'll end complaining. White supremacy. There is nobody said that in the world. Chinese, they never say white supremacy. When I say white supremacy, you imply black inferiority. It's linked. I know that they have power. They don't like you. They kill you. They do like this. But build your power. They will respect. If you cry, they say, okay, it's good for crying. Yes, they want some people who can face them. You do negative campaign. If you don't reply, they will continue. If you say, I do negative campaign, they will stop. They behave like that. They're not supreme beings. Even Mao Zedong, they say, the captain is a tiger. Is a tiger on paper. A paper tiger. It's not a real tiger. Don't be afraid. But for black became white supremacy. When Mao Zedong called that paper tiger, is a zero. I'm not afraid. They do nuclear weapons, we can do. They have satellite, we can do. They have nuclear bombs, we do the same. Yeah, so what? They send their student here. You study, you go back to China, you build. Japanese, 2 nuclear bombs. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Destroy the country. For 1 week. Yes. In August. 1945, August. 1 week, 2 nuclear bombs. Japanese, they didn't cry. They say, okay, that's too much maybe. So let's figure out. So they say, we must destroy the American market. Everybody has a Toyota, Mitsubishi, Shiro, yes. How you can sell, you do your car in your country, Ghana, and you bring a car, you sell in the United States, you destroy Ford, Buick, Cadillac. You must be a small country, less bigger than Dominguez Hill University. It's a 4 island, that's all. Japan. It's not big. But they said, no, look, don't cry, let's do these things. But black, they say never again. And again, it starts again. Never, when you say never again, what you do to say never again? Just a word, okay. Rhetoric, okay, you wait. We have solution, we kill you. We kill Lumumba, we put Mandela in jail, we kill King, we kill Malcolm X, we kill Black Panther, we destroy. Because in our gene to destroy. Not just you, even the nature we destroy. Even the water I drink, I destroy. Make pollution. It's our genes to destroy. It's like that. So we believe that love me. I don't love you or no, please love me. I hate you. I hate you. Do yourself. No, please, please. No, it's enough. If you want respect, you must build Africa. Yes. Quickly, if you have time for 5 minutes. 15? But the last one. Yes, start from Delaney. Quickly. Five pictures. Yes. So, yes, look, bring light. Martin Delaney. He was the guy who studied Medew Netcher first in the United States. So we don't even know. He's the first Egyptologist. Mario has a paper on this thing. We published that in Ankh. He's the first, because I read. When I read the first time, I did, well, maybe it's a joke. I see newspaper. But when I read Mario, I said, let me go back. But he knew Medew Netcher. Yes. He knew correct Medew Netcher. So I don't know how he did. Because I check, he knew Champollion grammar. He give references. Yes. Yes. So we can do less than him. Huh? Yes. You see, when we say that this hieroglyphic doesn't mean not in his book, it seems something crazy. Come here. For example, the name Ren Ek, your name. But in the text, the pyramid is written, Ren is written like this exactly. That means the Ren has a determinative for cartouche. It's written like that in the pyramid text. And now we write just Ren, we find just the mouth and the water, Ren name. But in the pyramid text, it's written with the cartouche as a determinative. Delaney has that. That means so your name is correct. Yes, it's correct. Yes, next. So this is why Jake built the school of Chicago to teach Medew Netcher. You don't escape. If there is no Medew Netcher, there will be no science. These are three birds. But when they say three, three is more than two. That means what? You must do things in a group. What you group study. When you do by yourself, when you do alone, this will apply. When I came here teach temple with Dr. Alif Masante, okay, fine. But I say no. Alone, it doesn't work. I apply the principle. So you build Mario, you build Velitia, you build Greg, you build Troy Allen. At least 4. Now, I can dance. It's a technique, don't do alone. This the text, is a beautiful text. They say that Ra, his name, the guy, his name is a man, but is a treasure. But he has the name of the Ramses' second sister, Tia. So he said the Re lives and the tortoise is dead. So united is the corpse with the earth. So united are the bones of this guy Tia. You see, to be buried, we bury with the funeral home. We go there is over. But United States, in Kemet, what we call burial, funeral, no, they must do things so you can be unified with the earth. The earth being the god Geb. So you can be resurrected again. So the funeral not just to bury somebody, but they bury. For there is a unity, you and the earth. So when you read Medew Netcher, you have the meaning of the text. You can do the spirituality is different. Then we bury your funeral. That means what? They bury you. You have a grave, they put you, okay, bye-bye. You have some flowers, even artificial flowers. Okay, you stay there? Yeah. Yes. Because the real one is too costly. Yes. Yeah, you don't spend money for death. But Kemet, they say, your body, your corpse must be unified, to be united with the earth. This is the condition of your resurrection. Because the earth is a god, is a Geb. Yes. And this text too, when you read, when President French, François Mitterrand, died, he never went to church, although he was baptized. When he died, all President French must go for their funeral to Notre Dame de Paris, the church in Paris. So the cardinal, he spoke, he made a speech. He said, Mitterrand is dead, but I hope that angels will open his eyes so he will see the light. But he's here. He's here. Eh? He's here. You see? You see, because you make the contrary. But you see, this man is here, is written. When, ek, irti, fi. That's me, the God, Geb, open your eyes. You see the two eyes here. You don't see that? And his eyes is F. Pronoun. Open is here. Open. With the terminative of a door. Open. Un is open. You see? So when he said that, yeah, it was so beautiful. No. You are dead. We pray God. So they open your eyes so you can see the light. This came from you. It's written thousand years and said by Isis, by Aset, the sister Aset who said that. To open your eyes so you can see the light. This is the ceremony we did for Asa in the Valley of the King. It was like that. You must know the culture. You don't just go to Nine Valley, the Valley of the King. You must pray like they did. You must know their culture. So I pray, Amunra, open his eyes, I can see you. Yes. It was like that. And this also, the Isis, they see many things to do. He's talking about Queen Hatshepsut. He said Hatshepsut like this. And the end, you don't see on top here. Yes, this is the text, you see. This is the text. I'm your sister, me, Isis, I'm your sister. So Isis said, the Queen Hatshepsut, I'm your sister. It's written. You see the link between God and goddess and human beings. Isis said, you are my sister. It's written here. It's written here. You are my sister. Sister of me, Isis. You are my sister. Don't worry, you are my sister. This is why we bring that, the Son of God, the Virgin Mary, this kind of a family. They give the same paradigm. So we call Jesus the Son of God, the wisdom man. Yes. But we follow the Egyptian paradigm because this is a kind of Virgin Mary. He said, you, Hatshepsut, you are my sister. You are my sister. You have the same blood. You have the same family. You are goddess too. You are God. Now we call them queen and kings. They're more than kings and queens. They're goddesses and gods. It's more than kings and queens. When we say king and queen, it's more sexuality business. But when we say you are a god and goddess, it's more spiritual business. But we follow our environment. When we talk about sexuality, nobody will pay attention. This is why we pollute everything. Yes, because we follow the mainstream. So come here. This is crucial too. No, push. I want to show the text here. Yes. So when we say that, we call that negative confession. But it makes no sense. How you can say negative confession? Or declaration of innocence. We copy, we make wrong. It's an insult to Egyptian civilization. We must read the text and say the god Anubis is trying to put the balance in order. What he says is written here. It's written. Word said by him, by Anipu. So put your heart on the balance. If the balance is in order, put your heart. Put yourself, your heart on the balance because the balance is ready now. I fix the balance, so you put your heart. So Western civilization, they say, know thyself, know yourself. How you can know yourself? Medew Netcher say, judge yourself. It's written. Things are in order. I don't judge you. God is not so cruel to judge people. We change completely Egyptian spirituality. Judge yourself. Why? You have a reason. You have a will. You have desire. You have the sense of responsibility in this earth. Judge yourself then. Judge yourself. Don't say, God, punish me. God will be so weak to punish you. It will be a weakness from him. Judge yourself. I give you everything. I have to think. I have to make good judgment. So judge yourself. You see? There is a more different. You have a more consciousness. The levate, you must ascend always. You must always be perfect. So you can judge yourself well. Is you, when I grade A, student Obenga, you give me a C. I said, I don't give you C. Why? For what? For what reason I give you C? When I read, yourself, you judge the paper like it is. You say, Obenga, I want a C. I say, the pedagogue, I'm not too cruel. So I'm like this. This one I love, I give A. This one I hate, I give B. No. This is not the bad pedagogy. I give a quiz. We have all information. You can study, you have a will, you want to succeed or not. So you give me paper, I read. So I said, he judged himself badly. Next. The last one. Things became more friendly, no? Yeah, I say it's not to me, you do a good paper. It's not to me. So things became, they don't shoot you then. It became, yeah, it became, well, the last by this queen is crucial. This is the last transparencies. Huh? It's the last, no? The last. Is a crucial, this paper. It's a huge text, many lines. On the top, you have King Seti, and with the sun. You don't see that here. With Ramses, the sun, they pray Osiris, Osire, and Isis, Aset, and Eru, Horus. So this is the first. And then you have a text, maybe 30 lines. The text is in Belgium now, museum. This is why it's difficult to find. So when I went there, I said, this beautiful text is too long. Why they read these things? So quickly, you try to read. It was amazing. So I found something very strange. So you bring this one to light from here. Yes. Even beautiful. So when you read, the guy who read that, his name is Mai, or Maya, his name. So they say, the text, they say written by, say the in, by Maya who read that, is the only excellent scribe. He's very precise. Mati is very precise. And he was useful. Come here. Put this top. Yeah, he was useful, the symbol of ark, to his Lord, his Neb, F. You see, F is here, Neb is here. To his Lord. Doing what? Because he was in charge of this one. He was in charge of what? This is crucial. I did that for Esa. You see? He was in charge of Seba. Teaching what? MF, His Majesty. So they taught the king of Kemet. He learned, he studied. Seba. This is the fold, the star, and the B. The Seba M. MN F. They teach him. What did they teach him? What? They teach him Sesh Netcher, the divine scriptures. It's written. So you go to palace, you teach the king the theology, the divine science. The Pharaoh learned that. This is Seba. You see? So all time, we must learn. This is why Delany, Cheikh Anta Diop, Henry Clark, all of them, even Luther, Malcolm X never went to school. He learned by himself. Learn. Because he learned, is written there. Is written. Is a Seba. You can see clearly Seba, MF, Sesh Netcher. You see? He wrote. And curiously, is so they give the order. This text is very beautiful. Even they say someplace twice that Wesir, Osiris, is the son of Nut. It's rare to find that in a text. Yes, almost important. So you have the Wesir here, you have Eru of there, and Aset. You see the order he gives, and all gods, of course. So they say, yes, the Father, the Son, and the Mother. So now we say the Father, the Mother, and the Son. They put the Son in the middle, of course, because is a link between you and her. Yeah, the way you play the Son is not it must be between you, is the link of your love. This is why Eru is between Aset, and Wesi, Osiris himself. You see? So when we learn ourselves, like a king Seti did, he bring us, you know this thing, come teach me too, I want to learn. Seba. It is a majesty. So, what we can do? We must, to learn, to build study group, is not to please something, it's like, it is the spirit of African culture. Yeah, it's not to please the Queen Zinga or Askak. We must learn every day. They say that the days are short. It's just like this, you are gone. But you must learn every day. They say that in Kemet too. Learning, to study, to know, it was crucial in Kemet. This is why everything is so perfect. Because if you don't learn how you can draw Medew Netcher like that. They do that every day. This is why when you go to Temple Karna, it was easy for them to do. Because they did that every day, any moment they did that. You don't do just a sit and tomorrow you do. It will not fit. So, to learn, like we call that the African Study Association, study. ASCAC is a study. So we must build a program what we study really. We must study Medew Netcher. If you don't study Medew Netcher, it's difficult to build for eternity. You?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You want to speak? You too?
All we can say is
You
thank
present
you,
already?
thank you,
Yeah,
thank
this
you.
morning.
That is Dr. Obenga. So much knowledge, so much wisdom. He gives us the charge to study. We know where we go from there. He gives us the charge.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thank you, Dr. Obenga.
Thank you. Thank you. So I have your business? Yes, yes.
Dr. Obenga was fabulous, huh? I want to thank Myra, too, who took the class with us and really is going to be our mentor here, helping us with Dr. Obenga's class. So anybody interested in studying Medew Netcher, see Sister Myra to make that happen.
I don't need this. I don't believe him.
I do want to make an announcement. The Tate family is in the house, y'all. Mama Tate. And how are you?
I make more short when you send me.
Mama and Papa Tate. Mama Tate is getting ready to come down here. Papa say you ain't leaving me.
And
Marcia, stand up. Marcia Tate, we're lovely.
from Elka, that I make
Where's
arrangements.
your sister with her hot desert boots on? There she is.
So we have the text itself, and then the real
Where's the other
so we
sister?
can translate. This was so all this literature,
Well, we're
but
going to
these
have a
things,
song from them tomorrow.
Yeah,
You
this
saw
is
them
what
in
they
the video
translate
last
in
night, or
English,
at
in
least the
French,
slides last night. They were
German,
with
so
us
these things.
last year.